Hey everybody, it's Justin from Bitner, and today we are not doing a gotcha video. It's not clickbait. There are so many of those videos out there on YouTube where it's like, I make $100,000 a month with my laser engraver. That is not what this is. I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I've owned over 20 businesses. I have a lot of business experience. And so just like I did with my how to start a woodworking business video, which is one of my most successful videos on YouTube, I wanted to tackle this from a business perspective on starting a laser engraving business. Laser engravers are super useful machines. They have a wide array of capabilities in a lot more industries than you might think of. So that's really what we're going to be looking at today, is some more out-of-the-box options other than Etsy. Etsy is a fine platform. Lots of people make money on Etsy. But Etsy, for the most part, is a race to the bottom. There's 50 people making the same thing. And so in order for you to be the one of those 50 people that sells your item, you need to sell it for lower than them. And so everybody's in a competition to be the cheapest. And then eventually, you're not making any money for your labor. So I would like to ignore Etsy for this video. And let's take a look at a lot of the other options that are really going to come to form maybe the direction that your business goes in. Let's do it today on Bitner Built. Our first topic is treating our laser engraver as a service. Many people come up with a really great idea for a fantastic product they could sell, and then they go ahead and purchase a laser engraver to help them make that product. Great, you should totally do that. It's the thing you're excited about. But in addition to that, you now have this awesome machine that can make so many things. So you could try and think about other great products that you could make, invest in materials and inventory, or you can start to market that you are a laser for hire. Laser engravers are not a typical machine that everybody has in their garage. So by putting yourself out there locally, you might be surprised how much business begins to come your way. This, of course, is the same thing as me being a woodworker. People hear that I have a CNC machine and 3D printer, a laser engraver, and heavy machinery. So they come to me all the time with the things that they want made because they know I have these machines and the capability to do so. So get your name out there as a service. Post on Facebook and other social medias. Find local groups. My town has a Facebook page with thousands of members, and they allow local business postings on Mondays. List the huge array of products that you can make with this laser engraver, and let the customer come to you with their ideas. You might even find that this begins to define your business. Maybe you become popular with wedding venues in your area, and they constantly send over people that are looking for custom-made wedding items. It might not be the thing that you set out to do originally, but hey, in addition to that thing that you're doing, you can bring in some more money, and that pays for your laser, doesn't it? Topic 2 is marketing your business as an add-on. This is very similar to topic 1, but a very different approach. I went to a local embroidery company to have some custom bags made for my sons recently. When I told them what I do here, they immediately said, "Oh, we would love to work with you. You should put some examples up in our store of all the different things that you can personalize." We have the same customers, people who want customized items, but overall, we didn't overlap enough to turn into direct competitors. So it definitely could turn into a win-win situation for us. They could advertise my services in their store as their own. They take the orders, deal with the customers, and supply me with the order to fulfill. They'll mark up my services so they make some money on the transaction. It's another stream of jobs coming in that will keep this laser running, which means it's making money. This can be a nice arrangement. So let's think about some other businesses that you can do this with. What businesses and their customers like to have custom things? I tried to come up with some out-of-the-box examples for you. One would be a sporting goods store. Having custom engravings offered to their purchases is very cool. And if your laser can engrave metals, you can put all sorts of designs on their new toys. You can put on handles like "To the best dad in the world," "Good luck, son," different things like that. Golf courses logo everything. As a gift, I was given custom stock pins for my golf clubs that have my phone number on them. So if I ever leave my golf clubs on the course, people can call me and tell them to pick them up. Bakeries are a interesting one too. It might sound odd, but being able to engrave on food is safe and very, very fast. Maybe it's for a company event and they want all the logos put on all the different food items that are there. Pet boutiques too. People love their fur babies and they love to be able to put their pets' names on anything. So stores like this might already have some services that customize things, but perhaps your machine will be able to expand on an offering that they already have. In reality, you don't need to come up with the ideas for these stores. They know their customers, what they like, and what will sell. They'll tell you what they're interested in collaborating with you on after you kind of enlighten them as to all the different things this machine can do. Even if these places don't end up collaborating with you, talking with them and letting them know about your services might result in some referrals from them in the future. For topic 3, let's look at some direct services that you can offer that aren't specifically products for sale. One thing that a laser engraver is great for is making custom foam inserts for tools and camera equipment and all sorts of sensitive stuff. I just laser engraved some foam for some of my videography equipment. And I love using these Milwaukee packouts because they're cheaper than the usual videography cases, and they interlock with each other and they have clear lids so that I can see exactly what's inside. I think it's pretty cool to be able to offer somebody the ability to drop off some of their equipment to somebody local. You can actually physically drop it off. You can then measure it with calipers, cut the foam exactly to fit the tool, and they'll have a gorgeous setup. Trust me, they'll be very happy with a pretty setup like this. Some other ideas. Fiber lasers can strip the rust off of a tool in seconds, leaving it completely brand new. Powerful fiber lasers. That's certainly a service that could be offered out there that many people would take you up on. I'm actually getting a fiber laser in, so I'm going to be trying that out pretty soon in a video, so stay tuned for that one. Another idea that I had that I don't see anybody doing is why not market to contractors, deck builders, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, to engrave some of their most used items, kind of like a business card. Imagine having a leak under your sink, and when you look under, on the pipe there, you have a pipe insulator, and it has the plumber's name engraved on it. This thing is $1, and you could maybe make 10 of them out of this. Or for electricians, you can custom engrave outlet covers. This is common in commercial jobs. They're typically doing stickers, but this is a permanent thing that's not going to peel off and then sticker's gone. Or maybe they want to engrave their contact info on a gang box or a blank plate like this. You wouldn't want to do it somewhere that's annoying, but having your contact information somewhere in an inconspicuous spot might lead to that return customer sometime in the future, especially when there's an emergency. Your HVAC system breaks. Having your number right there is good because rather than them just going back to Google, maybe they didn't save your number, you'll always have your number on the side of that machine. Topic 4 is business swag. This is one of the big markets that if you can get customers, you will continually get large batch orders on a fairly regular basis. For many laser businesses, this is their bread and butter. And of course, it's the typical pens and tumblers and USB sticks and business cards. But there are a lot of other things too. There's a woodworker that I ran into, and his business was making wood trays for restaurants with custom engravings on them. He marketed them online, but 90% of his sales came from the same repeat restaurants again and again, needing more trays as they broke or wore down or as they were coming up with different dishes, they wanted different designs. So don't think you're just limited to the normal engraving the pen thing. Now, a big question is, how do I get these big companies that are ordering from me all the time? Well, there's no silver bullet here, I'm sorry. But you're definitely not going to get customers this way by waiting around. You're definitely going to need to go after businesses. You could direct target some with some free small custom sample. I've gotten many engraved pens in the mail over the years with my company information on them. But it could be as simple as walking in and talking to people, or sending a marketing sheet in the mail with all of the items that you make, along with something like a wooden coin with a QR code engraved on it that takes them to their company website. This only takes a minute to engrave and it is super, super cheap. But it might be something different that they've never seen before. My very first company that I owned around 2002, was a multimedia company. And we did a lot of advertising stuff. And one of the big products that we were doing at the time was for pharmaceutical companies, we were making DVD business cards. If you're old enough to know what a DVD is, it's that little plastic circle. But these were little ones that were the size of business cards. And they were the new thing back then, and they were very cool. And so these pharmaceutical companies would have us put some videos and all of their different informational documents on these things, and they would hand them out like candy. So they were just ordering them like wildfire from us. It's because it was the new, cool, different thing. So think about that when you're approaching businesses. Businesses want to be seen too, so give them something they haven't seen before, and you will probably get their attention. Topic 5 is event sales. I look at street fairs as sort of a business card more than a big moneymaker. You never know who's going to attend a big public event like this. It could be the CEO of a big company and wanting to make a big order. You know, it could happen. So while you have items for sale at this event, a big effort should be made on signage that says that you do custom engraving, contact us with all of your needs. I do custom quotes. Here's our website. Here's tons of things that we do. You want to get their wheels turning on what they could have made with you. Of course, if you're a woodworker, an artisan, a crafter, do your thing, sell your great creations. But if you're new to this and you don't have that thing that you're known for making yet, don't worry. You can treat this as a way to show off your thing as laser engraving. You can purchase an array of pre-made products that you can engrave on. You can engrave on some stuff like your typical generic slogans. I was playing around with this pot tray and I engraved, "To plant a garden is to dream of tomorrow." My mother-in-law saw this and was like, "That is beautiful, I would buy that." Having some pre-made files with a whole bunch of these types of slogans printed out on your table that you can put on almost anything is pretty easy to sell. Trust me, my home is full of the Gather family type of signs, so they do sell. Not really my thing, but smarter, more beautiful people than I get to make the decisions in my household on that stuff. Now, if you have a machine like the xTool S1 that's relatively portable and enclosed for people's safety, and I must stress, enclosed for people's safety, you could bring the laser to the event and produce items right on site. People eat up stuff with their names on it, or more specifically, their kids' names or their grandkids' names. So being able to make it right there for them will be a big hit. Lastly, let's talk about lasers themselves. From a business perspective, you should be buying a laser engraver that will be able to accomplish the tasks that you need, and most importantly, that you can afford. If money starts to just roll in and it's more work than your laser can keep up with, then it's time to buy a second laser or a bigger, faster laser. But in the beginning, do not go crazy and buy an expensive laser because of the what ifs. Well, that's what we're going to need when all this crazy business starts rolling in, before you've actually started selling anything. So until you're actually selling items and making money, don't think that way. Play it safe with your money and use the rule that you only grow your equipment as you grow your business. Trust me, I really like buying the expensive top-of-the-line stuff myself, but when it comes to business, you really need to be more reserved with your cash, especially in the startup phase of something. In choosing that first laser, there are lots of options. There are affordable diode lasers, desktop and huge format CO2 lasers, and fiber lasers that are super fast in engraving and even cutting some metals. I just got finished telling you that you should buy a laser you can afford, and I say that with an asterisk. Obviously, there's a lot of cheap diodes out there. I'm glad that there are affordable beginner lasers there to help more people get into the space by removing the high price tag. However, that has happened at the expense of safety. The cheaper diodes, and oddly some of the fiber lasers, do not come with an enclosure. And recently I did a video on open versus enclosed lasers. I'll link it below. But the gist of that video is that they aren't safe enough without an enclosure. Now, I've done like 6 reviews of different open gantry models on the channel over the past year, And while there's lots of precautions you can take to make them safer, I mean, I built, before this was here, this was a whole enclosure that I have, diode laser glass. I did a whole bunch of stuff to it, but there are still just too many opportunities to accidentally expose yourself or other people's eyes to the laser, not including fire issues. I have kids, and if they open the door to the garage while I'm using a laser out in the open, I could be doing damage to their eyes permanently. Additionally, I don't really think that open gantries have great fire detection or fire suppression solutions. I've actually decided that I'm going to not do any more reviews of open gantry units unless it's something crazy that I have to just look at, because I really feel that every laser should have an enclosure, and I'm going to make a big push on that myself. Now, full disclosure, this isn't a sponsored video, but I am an xTool affiliate. xTool is what I currently use in here. So if you buy xTool stuff through my links down below, I get a small commission, which helps the channel. xTool contacted me the other day and told me about a new program that I'm on board with, which is why I was willing to mention it in this video. They have come to the same conclusion that I have about open gantry lasers. They're going to start phasing out their open gantry D1 model, and they're only going to be making enclosed lasers going forward. So that's great. Good job. I hope that all companies start to do this now that the price point's gotten a little lower. Now, something that they're doing that's cool to show their commitment to that is they're going to do a buyback program from January 18th to February 16th, 2024. You can trade in any open gantry laser from any manufacturer at any price point, and depending on the model you buy from them, they will give you up to $500 off for that trade-in. And that's for their diodes, fiber, or CO2 lasers. Additionally, they will include a free fire safety kit. I actually just bought it, you can't see it back here, with my own money. I bought it for this S1. It's 4 CO2 cartridges that are really big. And if it detects fire in here, it will flood the chamber with CO2 gas, putting out the fire and cutting the power. And I'm in a tinderbox, if you haven't noticed, so safety measures are very important to me. So I spent $169 on that, so that's a pretty nice freebie for them to include also. I have a link for all that in the description below if you want to check out their trade-in deal. But I only included this blurb in the video because I'm really behind people being safe with any tool that they use in the shop. If you've watched my channel before, I try to take time to give safety tips when you're doing anything in here, because everything is dangerous in the shop. Lasers are dangerous. So any safety measure that a company can do to do that is great. And in the laser space, that means your laser needs to be in an enclosure. So get out there and have fun making all of your cool creations with your laser engraver. When I got my first engraver, up until that point, I did not know all the amazing cool things you can do with it. I actually probably even gravitate towards using my laser a little bit more than my CNC machine now, and I love my CNC machine, obviously based on what the project is, but I find it to be faster and easier to use a lot of the time. So I made this video to try and maybe open up a new perspective if you haven't thought of it before. Some of you might see it as common sense, but other people, it might not have dawned to you that when you're starting off as a side hustle or a small business, you need to make money wherever you can. So don't just think of this as a machine that makes products. It can also be a service machine too that brings in additional revenues for you, because when you're starting out, you need money to just pay yourself, keep the business going, buy more equipment, expand. So offering services is a great option to do that. I hope if you got some good information from the video, you'll like and subscribe. That's really what helps me grow this channel. And of course, stay safe in the shop. I will see you in the next video.